I said okay, yeah. Trapping, I've been at it for some days, yeah. I need a lifeguard, they tryna steal my wave, yeah. I swing this piper up and I serve the J's, yeah. Just try and get that cake, yeah. Just try and make a way, yeah. I'm smoking on that skunk, this shit mustard. And they know niggas dying if they touch me. Ain't shit you can tell me. Man it up, I'm wealthy. I bet they gon' love me. I bet they gon' love me, yeah. Smoking for my dummy, yeah. Trapping, I get active, I know how they get that money. I got LA feelings way, losing pounds like I'm running. I can't concentrate, this shit way on my conscience. I know they gon' hate for us gun how I'm gunning. I can't get out my face, she just want me in her stomach. We hit different states in the states for that money. I do what it take for that plate, bitch, I'm hungry. I said okay, yeah. Trapping, I've been at it for some days, yeah. I need a lifeguard, they tryna steal my wave, yeah. I swing this piper up and I serve the J's, yeah. Just try and get that cake, yeah. Just try and make a way, yeah. I'm smoking on that skunk, this shit mustard. And they know niggas dying if they touch me. Ain't shit you can tell me. Ran it up, I'm wealthy. I bet they gon' love me, yeah. I bet they love me now. That's how they love the sound. If I ever see them out, no, I gotta gun them down. They tryna steal my wave, but these niggas wanna turn me down. I still feel that pain, only difference I got money now. I swear I'm the same, you wanna know that cause you wasn't around. And I watch niggas change over nothing, that shit blew my mind. I blow this propane, I stay high because I love this game. I can't make it rain on these niggas talking chopper shop. I said okay, yeah. Trapping, I've been at it for some days, yeah. I need a lifeguard, they tryna steal my wave, yeah. I swing this piper up and I serve the J's, yeah. Just try and get that cake, yeah.
Welcome to the Newage. Welcome to the Newage. How you feeling today?
Lord, tired, but I'm here.
As long as
ready to get this started.
As long as you're here, that's all that matters. Antonio, can you give us a rundown?
Okay, this morning AMC is down 1%. Tesla is up almost 2%. GameStop up over 0.25%. For you guys' favorite Virgin Galactic is down 0.37%. ChargePoint is up 0.58%. NVIS is up 0.93%. Robinhood is up 0.87%. And you guys also favorite Palantir is up 0.45% as well.
I don't want that to be up, by the way. I don't want that to be up. Let's get straight into it. It's a lot going on today. I'm seeing Elon Musk making robots, and you know it's just so much going on. I don't even know where to start. But let's start with big tech. So it was an article released either today or the other day about the government wanting to rein in big tech. What do you think the government can do to even touch big tech at this point when they out here making robots?
Well, their biggest weapon is law making and regulations. So that's where they can bring in the reins of control, so to speak, through amending laws, making laws, and regulating, you know, the current activities that's taking place now.
So the article was stating that in 2016, Senator Elizabeth Warren started to tackle big tech and was saying that competition was becoming eradicated in America. My thoughts on that may differ, may not differ, but do you think there is a competition depletion in America right now?
When you say a competition depletion, you mean that the smaller companies are fading out, and is more monopolizing through the bigger companies?
We can go that route, sure.
Yeah, I agree. I would say that. I definitely think that monopolizing is taking place in that industry, but I don't see it as no different in any other industry or different any difference in the way that our society and the markets have always operated.
As far as what?
Monopolizing, a sector.
I'm saying, what are you referencing?
The big tech. You asked me about big tech. Do I see that?
But you said you don't see it differing from. Basically, I'm assuming you're talking about another industry. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying the way that business has always been done across the board.
So you're saying every industry monopolizes just like big tech is monopolizing. That's what you're saying?
Correct. This is
Okay.
a trend that's always taken place. I feel like it's a political ploy to for the governing bodies to reign, as the article said, reign in on it,
So do you feel as though...
to pick their winners and choosers.
Right.
I'm winners and losers.
So would you be comfortable with big tech's reign?
I think, again, this is where we get into the battle of centralization versus decentralization, right? I think tech, the innovation that's there is tremendous, right? It affords and allows more of the populated segments of the world, more of the population to come in and have taken advantage of the opportunities that's provided through the tech. So I think that you can find good and bad in anything. They say, power in the wrong hands, is treacherous or dangerous.
Right.
Right. But if it's in the right hands, it'll be used for good.
Right.
So that's how I see it.
So do you think it's in the right hands with big tech?
Let me say it this way. They say the lesser of two evils. You hear that term often used when it comes to political parties. Me, myself, I don't look at it. I mean, I don't have a thought either way. I feel like it's up to individuals to take advantage. Yeah, to decide and take advantage of what tech affords us.
So further in the conversation, Facebook has teamed up with Indian firm to help provide loans to small businesses. So again, further in the conversation, you got Facebook basically becoming a bank. Basically becoming a bank. So it's partnering with an Indian online lending firm to help provide loans to small domestic businesses. Its country head said on Friday as part of the push to bring more businesses to advertise on its platform. The social media giant is joining hands with IndyFi to help provide loans ranging from 500,000 rupees to 5 million rupees. So that is 6,719 to $67,191 in U.S.
And loans
in
for
U.S. dollars.
Committed as far as providing loans to small businesses in India.
Correct.
Okay.
So basically you got, and obviously this is them partnering with a different country. But basically you got one of the biggest data holders in the world, if not the biggest data holder in the world, becoming a financial institution.
Lending institution.
Right. What's your thoughts on that, and where do you see Facebook going long term?
First, let me say this. I love Facebook as a investment play for me. I'm not currently in Facebook, but I'm soon going to get into it. I feel like Facebook is way undervalued currently, even trading at its current price of, I believe, $3.35 last I checked.
I'll check. Keep going.
Okay. What Facebook offers long term, they'll similar to Amazon. When I look at Facebook, I look at I align it to the likes of Amazon. meaning Amazon started in the book industry and ultimately evolved to dominating the whole e-commerce space. I believe, Facebook, we know, started as a college, a way to bring the college experience to, the world at large. Ultimately, it evolved to what we see it as today. It's currently operating in the everyday providing for the everyday needs of our everyday lives, I should say, in a sense.
So Facebook is currently at $355. If you had to give a price target on the stock, what would you give it? And let's just say in the next year.
The next year, I think it'll easily jump to 500 plus within the next year. How high? Really, to be honest, I can see it. I'm just going to use 500 plus as a conservative base number, right? Because of the segments that they're in. They're now talking about offering the DM coin, going live with that. When it was first introduced,
which is a crypto.
Yeah, which is a crypto or digital asset / cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Right? When they first talked about introducing, getting into the crypto asset space, it was shot down by political parties. Again, this is where we talk about them, the centralized body coming against decentralization, right? Facebook have been trying to become its own financial institution for some time now. They even moved out the country, and they just recently moved to further their efforts to accomplish this. They've recently moved back into the country because of some of the liberties, so to speak, that's been afforded them to do what they originally set out to do. But I can see Facebook easily jumping, a few $100.
Okay.
Within the next year.
So is that over the 400 mark, 500 mark, 600?
Over the 500 mark.
Okay. Since you brought up DM coin, I'm gonna go to Antonio for a crypto rundown.
Bitcoin is looking very good today. Just hit over 47,000. Ethereum over 3,000, up from yesterday. XRP at 124. Cardano with a huge jump.
They killing.
251.
Woo! That's higher than it was last week.
Yeah.
When it jumped over $2 plus. I'm sorry, go ahead, Antonio.
And everyone's favorite Dogecoin up 31%. 31 cent today.
Okay.
That's interesting. So it looks like crypto is starting to get its momentum back. Going into to keep the topic on crypto, the second largest U.S. mortgage lender will accept payment in Bitcoin now. So the United Wholesale Mortgage announced plans this week to accept cryptocurrency for home loans in an apparent first for the national mortgage industry. The company hopes to start accepting Bitcoin in Q3, and it's currently weighing other digital currencies like Ether.
You know what's interesting to me about this, Datwan? We see this consistent pattern of several big conglomerate or big corporations talking about accepting cryptocurrencies later this year.
Right.
We heard it last week with AMC.
Right.
We've heard it as of recent. Earlier we heard Elon Musk talking about accepting it. Then he pulled back. But as of recent, we're talking about the later part of this year. We heard the Feds talking about, the end of summer, testing the digital dollar. Now we're hearing it in the mortgage space. Right. You said the second largest mortgage company in the whole United States is talking about accepting Bitcoin in quarter three. And by the way, we're in quarter three now, right?
Right.
So it's been a lot of noise, a lot of fussing about this tug of war between is crypto good, is it bad? The scams, protecting, I'm putting up the guardrails to protect retail investors, from being harmed. Congress is now passed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, of which a portion of those funds is segmented towards regulating cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm.
Congress is on break until the middle of September, or pushing towards the latter part of September. Right. I find it very interesting that all of this noise is being brought about as often as it is, back to back to back to back to back. You hear crypto, accepting of crypto, the regulations of crypto, etc. We hear it in our local market or domestic, our domestic territory, meaning the U.S., but because of the research that I do, I'm always in tune to the international markets, which is have been constantly bringing about regulations and calling for the need for regulation in our space.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is that it's obvious, even if you don't know enough about crypto, speculative about crypto, it's obvious it's here to stay. So you better do whatever you can to learn about it. I'm not gonna say investing if you don't feel comfortable investing in it.
By the way, nothing that is said on this live stream is financial advice. This is our full disclaimer. Check with a licensed financial advisor. This is for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only. Do your own due diligence. I'm sorry.
So, as I was saying, crypto's here to stay. Crypto's here to stay. Now, how they regulate it may be, up for debate, but it's definitely here to stay. Antonio, give us a update, rundown, insight.
Breaking came out yesterday that number one draft pick Cade Cunningham signed an exclusive multi-year partnership with a crypto company, BlockFi. As a part of the deal, Cunningham will be paid 100% in his signing bonus in Bitcoin.
Wow. Wow, that's so huge because
that's huge.
Again, you hear all of these news reports taking place, even in entertainment space.
Right, right.
More and more athletes are accepting. Saquon Barkley mentioned something. Can you share that with Saquon Barkley?
On.
Well, before you hit the Saquon Barkley, I got a question for both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that NBA partnerships partnerships period involving athletes will move towards this field of being paid in crypto and exposing of crypto?
You talking about players or you talking about teams?
I was specifically talking about players, but
so you saying are players gonna get more crypto endorsements or get paid?
Yeah, do you think the future of NBA endorsement deals is looking to be more decentralized?
You want to answer that?
So I'm assuming you're talking about from endorsements. Yeah. So it depends on the player. It depends on the player, but I do think we already seeing the evidence. That's where we're going. Will every player accept crypto? Maybe not. But I think right now we may be under 1%. I think soon it may be under 5%. And then 5 years later it may be under 10%, 20%. 10 years later it may be under 30%. Like, crypto is here to stay, man. We can debate all we want about is crypto good, is crypto bad, decentralized versus centralized. Crypto is here to stay. We keep getting the evidence. I'm not advising anybody. I advise people to look into it as an opportunity
You
of a
don't
lifetime.
advise. We encourage.
Right. Same thing. So go ahead. Did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I just the thing that I love about it is we just talked about what took place with that breaking news regarding the #1 draft pick of the NBA, Cade Cunningham, but it's transcending from sport to sport. You know, Saquon Barkley just talked about a few weeks ago, talked about receiving all his endorsement, 100% of his endorsement money in cryptocurrency.
And he receives 8+ figures from his annual endorsement deals.
Saquon Barkley?
Yes.
That's huge. 8 figures is we're talking a minimum of $10 million received in crypto. So like you said, Datwan, we talk about, is it good, is it bad? That type of money, to put his trust in that type of money, a $10 million, for it to be at risk of being lost,
Right.
I think that would be a foolish decision for anybody to do if it didn't have any merit.
Right. It's interesting. Trevor Lawrence was also signed a deal, I think, an endorsement deal.
Yeah, you're right.
With a crypto company. I'm not sure exactly what it was. The UFC signed their biggest endorsement deal ever, over, I believe, 150 million.
Yeah, it's 150 million plus.
150 million plus with Crypto.com, right?
Yep.
Crypto.com, their biggest endorsement deal ever. Crypto, not only is crypto here to stay, but it's just getting started, and you see the type of money that's getting passed out here through crypto. So you have to ask yourself, are you prepared for the future? Are you prepared for where the world is going? Because if it's just starting, or let's just say maybe phase 2 to many more phases, I think you would be foolish not to look into it and do your own due diligence.
Right. So the framework is already in place. What I find most interesting about this, and I'll leave it here, is at its height, and I mentioned this last week, crypto rose to $2.5 trillion, an unregulated asset class. Who do you think is putting that type of money to reach those levels? It can't be just retail investors or speculative investors,
Right.
which is what they call us, right?
Right.
So we don't have that type of money. That tells you what's happening behind the scenes. More evidence or speculation of what's happening behind the scene. That has to be institutional money that's reaching heights of $2.5 trillion.
Right. And again, but I want to go back to big tech. But before I go back to big tech, I'm just piggyback off what you're saying. The retail traders can only do but so much.
Mm-hmm.
You really see, you'll start to see the shift, and you really are now, but you'll start to see the shift more and more as regulation comes in and big institutions come in. It's important for you to look into it now before big money makes a crypto from $2 go to $100, $500. Like that's what we're talking about,
Right. Or a crypto going from pennies
Right.
to 60,000 plus.
Right.
Currently the day trading at 47,000
Right.
plus, aka Bitcoin.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Retail investors does not have that type of resources / capital to make it increase that to those types of figures.
So going back to tech, it's an article here that says, for bank regulators, tech giants are too big to fail. More than a decade on a financial crisis, regulators are spooked once again that some companies at the heart of the financial system are too big to fail, but they're not banks. This time, it's the tech giants, including Google, Amazon, Microsoft, that host a growing mass of bank insurance and market operations on their vast cloud internet platforms that are keeping watchdogs awake at night. Central bank sources told Reuters the speed and scale at which financial institutions are moving critical operations such as payment systems and online banking to the cloud constituted a step change in potential risk. We are only at the beginning of the paradigm shift. Therefore, we need to make sure we have a fit-for-purpose solution, said a financial regulator from a group of 7 countries who declined to be named. That was a lot, but what do you think?
You know, what's interesting is, you know, this war of centralization versus decentralization really, at the heart of it is really the tech, big tech versus lawmakers and the financial sectors, you know, the banking system and things. The benefit that the lawmakers have is that they don't have to create the tech in order to benefit from it.
Say that again.
The benefit that the lawmakers have and the powers that be / banking system is that they don't have to create the innovation. All they have to do is control it. So, and we see this again throughout the history of time. Inventions create the light bulb, et cetera, so have you, and energy, you know, being produced in its mass sense, right? All they have to do is make a law to interfere or stop or bring a halt to the direction that tech desires to go into.
Right. So before I get into it, Antonio, give us another update.
Let's see. AMC is finally in the greens. Pre-market up 0.03%.
Okay.
That's better than nothing.
We moving up.
We're moving on up.
GameStop at a 0.25% up. Tesla up 1.5% this morning. Palantir still up 0.29%. Square is in the red with negative 0.13%. The S&P 500 is in the red in the pre-market. The NASDAQ is in the green in the pre-market.
Okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Thank you.
OnlyFans was hit with a bombshell yesterday, saying that they're no longer supporting sexual explicit content. And the reason for that is because their banking partners and payout partners, they have a problem with not verifying, you know, ages on the credit cards or whatever. So they want to get out of the space of explicit content. Do you think that's a major...
And when you say explicit content, you mean pornography?
Sexual.
Because they're still allowing, like, nudes and stuff like that.
Right. And it's just the banking partners saying that they don't want no parts of that.
Okay.
So that's why OnlyFans is blocking the sexual content.
Right.
So you think that's a... And what direction do you think that would take OnlyFans as a company?
Well, first of all, I got a huge opinion on this. I'm glad you brought this up. For all the OnlyFans models, boy or girl, whatever you are, this is the importance of diversifying and making sure you're not beholden to one system, one platform. The same thing happened with, and not in the same direct way, but the same thing happened with Vine. where everyone was loving Vine, everyone was into Vine. You had the stars on Vine. Vine vanished. A lot of the stars vanished. TikTok, when Trump was in office last year, he was in last year, right?
Yeah,
okay.
This is Biden's first year.
Yeah. When Trump was in office last year, they were talking about banning TikTok. A lot of those stars make a lot of money from TikTok. TikTok was about to be gone from the U.S. in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Do not rely on one platform to fund your lifestyle,
right,
in your business. You had to be versatile. You had to be flexible, and you had to have the ability to evolve. As far as OnlyFans concerned, I think it gives other competition the opportunity to undercut them.
One of the things I want to add to that, the diversifying that you spoke of, with this, we talked about cryptocurrency. We constantly talking about both the traditional stock market and cryptocurrencies, right? How many in your portfolio do you only hold one asset or one equity?
No.
Right, and it's because of this same reason of the just in case the one crashes. If you put all your stock or eggs in one basket, then you would be, you would be without.
Right.
Ultimately, right. That's why we do what we do. We've been able to take advantage of diversifying, right? Not depending on one particular asset or equity, etc. So I said this just to double down on what you're talking about. When you are able in a position and able to amass, small fortune, big fortune, whatever it is, wisdom says you should begin to create other revenue streams of taking advantage of opportunity to develop other revenue streams.
You had something to add, Antonio?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like how you stated, if a competitor wants to undercut OnlyFans, I was just thinking like, what could they do? What do you think about is someone trying to redo OnlyFans, but taking out the middleman of the banks by just only accepting crypto?
So that's the war. That's the current war that's going on.
But not only that, that can happen as well. But you don't have to go through. I'm not sure because Pornhub had something like that too, where the visa wasn't allowing them to.
Probably the same thing.
Yeah, it was like the processing system. So Pornhub backed away, like whoa, and then it went away. You get what I'm saying? Just it slowly went away. So basically, what I'm saying is, you don't have to go through that specific payment system. That payment system is the big institutional payment system, but it's still other companies that's. OnlyFans is just what we know because OnlyFans is what we know. But it's still other companies out there that's doing the same thing. So it's not like it would have to be something crypto. I think that's a huge opportunity. But it's other systems out there in other websites and apps out there now that's doing really pretty much the same thing as OnlyFans.
Yeah, because I was just to jump. I don't want to jump ship, but speaking on the payment system, I read that if I'm not mistaken, PayPal. If you sell a product with CBD in it, and then you try to complete the transaction, it'll just close out like nothing ever happened. Because I think PayPal doesn't want anything to do with CBD products.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
Yeah. So again, if I'm a CBD distributor, or if I'm selling CBD, I have to find a way not to use PayPal. And it's other payment systems that will allow me to do CBD. You know, with that being said, though, I think it's a culture shift that's happening. Like it's a huge culture shift.
It's called decentralization.
Right.
That's what it's called.
Like people do not think about this. We had Pornhub, but 10, 15 years ago, you couldn't sell yourself like that online. The way that OnlyFans created it. We looked at that as prostitution. Mm-hmm. Now we look at it like it's normal. So CBD 10, 15 years ago, weed illegal, federal case, and not saying CBD and weed is the same thing, but my point is things continue to evolve, things continue to progress, and soon CBD, it will be not an issue.
Mm-hmm. Regulated.
And to me, even the OnlyFans thing and the pornography and selling it and subscribing to it won't be really regulated either. The only reason why that's really regulated is because, like you said, the age and the not being able to verify the age in sex trafficking and all that.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
No, so again, my final thought on that is these businesses and institutions, it's always been a yin and a yang seesaw. Mm-hmm. And I believe OnlyFans will continue to evolve.
Okay.
So I thought you had something to add, but anyway, we'll get back to big tech. We was talking about the bank regulation. I actually want to go into Tesla real quick, but I never really added my final thoughts on the big tech and banking regulations. And banking regulators. Again, big tech is so disruptive. Mm-hmm. It's gonna make.
What is it disruptive to?
I would say it's disruptive to the system, but it's also disruptive to its competitors. So so let's say Netflix owned the streaming wars, right?
Right.
And then you got Amazon, big money coming in. Disney, big money coming in. Mm-hmm. So it forces Netflix to evolve. Mm-hmm. With big tech coming in, we see the Robinhoods. We see the SoFi. Coinbase. We starting to see.
By the way, Coinbase just launched in China yesterday. Mm-hmm. Yesterday or the day before. They just launched in China.
We seeing the Apples. We just was talking about Facebook.
Google.
And I feel like I'm missing one.
Microsoft.
Did I say Amazon?
Yeah, you mentioned Amazon.
Okay. We see them getting into this financial regulated field.
Right. Google Pay, like you said, is Apple Pay.
We see them it's going to force the old institutions, the old regulators to evolve. Mm-hmm. That don't mean they'll lose complete control. I don't know how much control they'll lose. I don't know how much control they'll gain. But it's going to force them to evolve.
See, the whole thing is about market share, right? That's what business is all about. So if I no longer have to go to Bank of America to get a loan, then I won't go to Bank of America. If it's afforded for me to do it on an app that I'm on my phone anyway. So if the app doesn't go through the same restrictions, meaning a credit check, your credit rating has to be at this, that, or the third in order for you to receive the help or the resources that you need to progress or be productive in whatever it is that you are pursuing or need in life. That's going to pull market share from the old institution in the current banking sector,
Right.
right? And begin to divvy that share, bigger slices of the pie over time into these tech sectors.
Right. So let's talk about one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Elon Musk. So he announced earlier, I don't think today, but like maybe last night, yesterday, early today, about this Tesla bot that they're making, and it's expected to be out by 2022 or unveiled in 2022. You know, that obviously can be pushed back, but it's built on the self-driving AI that Tesla has. So before I read this article, what do you think about the robot?
You know, let me say this first. One of the things I love about Elon Musk and people like him, Apple is another one. They don't unveil their plans or their innovations until shortly before, it's
Right, because I was like 2022.
Right,
like,
that's
what?
right around the corner.
Right.
So I'm listening to you say that. I'm like, that's about 4 months away.
Right.
3 months away. 3 to 4 months away. So I'm like, wow. What do I think about the robot? This thing is so interesting to me, man. Never did I ever believe I would live in a time. The world is rapidly changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not see where we're headed to and really currently are within a million years. When the pandemic hit, and I'm going to be brief with this. You remember the conversation I had with you, and life just came to a complete halt.
Right.
Unannounced, just immediate stop.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and when I began to see the things that's been unfolding, right? I said, what have I been doing for the last 10 years?
Uh-oh.
I said, I must have been asleep. It's no way that all of this could have been taking place.
Right under our nose.
Yeah, under our nose. And even what we talk about it regarding the blockchain and stuff.
Right.
A solution overnight, right? It shows me that this stuff has been planned for years, right? And I'm not necessarily, I'm not only talking about Elon Musk, but I am going to bring it right back to him. The tech world understands years prior to us where our system is going, right? Mm-hmm. Or what's the solution a solution make for our system. Therefore, they begin to develop it, right? It's just amazing to me. It's amazing to me how Tesla is so far in front of everything.
Antonio, you had something to add?
All right, so I'm a big Tesla fan. I think Tesla's one of the best companies in the world.
Right.
But I got to play devil's advocate right here.
Talk to me. Or us.
Tesla, they usually bite off more than they can chew with these unveilings in short amount of times. The Tesla truck, Cybertruck and all that.
Right.
With the chip shortage going on and the robot planning to come out in 2022, you think that's a problem?
No. Why would it be a problem?
If it's already a chip shortage,
this is my answer to that.
Go ahead.
3D printing. That's the solution make for this chip shortage.
But not and that's a valid point. But if I'm unveiling a robot in 2022, that don't mean I'm selling robots in 2022. So you think that Elon won't have a chip or whatever the bot needs for unveiling?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I know it's a good point.
Well, but like I mean, just to stay with the simplicity of it is 3D printing. It solves the solution of the chip shortage that you brought up.
Okay.
Yeah, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the Wall Street Journal. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Elon Musk says Tesla is more than a car company and kicking off artificial intelligence event. Elon Musk kicked off Tesla Inc.'s artificial intelligence event Thursday as the company faces increased federal scrutiny of a key application of that technology, its driver assistance system known as Autopilot. Tesla is hosting what Mr. Musk has billed as a recruiting event around artificial intelligence or technology designed to mimic the way humans think. Tesla, which has delivered far fewer vehicles than more established rivals. So let me read that one again. Tesla, which has delivered far fewer vehicles than more established rivals, has risen to become the world's most valuable car maker as investors bet in part on the potential of its technology. Tesla is much more than an electric car company, Mr. Musk says.
Why do you think that Elon gets in so much trouble? What's your take on that?
What do you mean by getting in trouble?
So it's always a report that he's getting pushed back from the SEC, the government. That talked about, the article you just read talked about one of his applications being.
Well, that application has come under scrutiny because it's been, tested amongst the public, and they've had some fatal crashes. I think deaths.
Oh, the LiDAR, his LiDAR system.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
got you.
So that is one thing he's been scrutinized for. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I just think he doesn't fit, people's mold. Like when he was on Joe Rogan smoking weed, it's like, how can a billionaire be smoking weed on a podcast? It's
on a public,
in public,
almost like public TV,
right?
As big as Joe Rogan's podcast.
Right. So, but he just doesn't fit the mold. He just doesn't fit that mold, and but
he's like a rebel.
But a lot of these, right,
so to speak, he would be labeled as a rebel by definition,
right? A rebel, an outlier. But a lot of these big, who's breathing this hard? Someone, y'all good over there? Sound like somebody sleep over there. Anyway, big tech billionaires always come under scrutiny. Mm-hmm. I want to stick with what we saying.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry,
but big tech billionaires always come under scrutiny, and they'll continue to come under scrutiny. Mm-hmm. Going back to this article, though, what's your take on Tesla? Where it stands today and where it will stand in the future? Tesla is up $9 in pre-market. It's at $673, I believe. $9 add to $673. I believe it's at $681.
So my take on it is his vision. One of the articles that we talked about was Tesla is. I'm not Tesla. I'm sorry. Big tech. Some of these big tech companies are too big to fail. I align Elon with that article. It didn't mention Tesla, I don't believe, in that article. But the reason I align him with it is because I told you what I think of Tesla. I think of it as an energy company, right? It's segmented into other sectors, so to speak, or it's broadened its range. We just talked about robots, right? Go ahead.
I have to challenge you there, and
go ahead, challenge.
And really, you kind of brought it up a couple months ago. I'd be like, Tesla isn't a car company; it's a energy company, right? Today, I'm like, Tesla isn't an energy company.
I agree.
It's just a tech company.
Okay.
It's just a pure tech company.
Okay.
And it's going to go cars to energizing with the solar panels, homes.
It's an HVAC.
Right.
So
you have the tunnels that he's building. You have the chip that has with the.
So those are different companies, though.
Right.
It's all Elon Musk, but they're
Right.
different companies. I thought we were specifically talking about Tesla.
Well, you're right, because that's the Boring company.
Right.
You're right.
With the tunnels.
Right. But anyway,
It's all when we identified as Elon Musk.
No,
I'm just saying
but it's important to make that
separation.
Yeah. But now you're seeing him do robots,
Right.
and you'll continue to see him push AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Exactly. I was about to say a revolutionized AI. That's exactly what I was about to say.
So that's a good assessment. Tesla is a tech company.
Yeah.
I kind of will agree.
It's not a
with
car
that.
company
Yeah.
at all. It's not
Right.
like to look at
It just happens to make cars.
Right. It just happens to make cars. In the same way, we do got an article about Apple. We won't get into it. But if Apple gets into the car
industry, which is projected to do.
right, will we consider Apple a phone company?
Well, I told you what the CEO said in the interview. Tim Cook stated that the interviewer questioned him, what would you say Tesla's biggest impact on society would be within the next 5? Apple's biggest impact on society would have been, in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think he said 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Cook said, because you produce the iPhone, you have earphone, various things, the Apple Watch, iPad, etc. He said Apple's biggest impact will be known for what we do in the healthcare space.
So think about that. A phone company. So again, if we continue to look at Google as a search engine company, if we continue to look at Apple as
a search engine company versus a what?
As a tech company,
right? That's good. That's good.
I'm going there. If we continue to look at Apple as a phone company,
right,
versus a tech company,
right.
If we continue to look at Tesla as a e-commerce site versus
you mean Amazon?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Amazon as an e-commerce site versus a tech company. If we continue to look at Tesla as a car company, even energy company, we're off. It's a tech company, and it's gonna keep evolving, just like those 3 previous companies kept evolving.
Right.
It went from cars. It's gonna dominate energy, and it's gonna dominate AI.
Yeah, I agree with you. The time is now 9:29. Antonio, you can give us one last rundown before we close out. Prior to the market opening in a matter of seconds, less than a minute.
Prior to the market opening, everything is in the green. I mean, well, this on my watch list. So that we have AMC up 0.50%, Tesla up still, GameStop up still, ChargePoint up still, BlackBerry up, Square's up, Palantir's up, Robinhood is up, the S&P 500 is finally up, the NASDAQ is up, Tesla, I say Tesla again, Bitcoin knocking on the door of 47,500. Ethereum still knocking on the door of 3,300, and Dogecoin is up to 32 cents at the moment.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Real quick before we leave, it's interesting that the market has just turned green with us for, I believe, a 5th or 6th day of the repo market eclipsing $1 trillion. In fact, on yesterday, it reached its highest at $1.16 trillion. So it's interesting that the market is green. We talked about yesterday being, is the stock market weird or is it rigged? So I just find that interesting.
And again, just to close out, when the Fed, and when I say Fed, I mean Federal Reserve banking system, start to ramp it up and start to lift their hands off the market and ramp up interest rates, that's when we're going to see a big scare in the market. That's what I see. That's what I'm continuing to see. Because if you can have that much debt for consecutive days, and
highest it's ever been,
right, and keep having the market pretty much in having good days, if not great days, it has to be something
inflated,
and the Fed will burst the bubble. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Welcome to the New Age.
Straight in the booth, I get in there. Took a little baby like I got on Squidward. Really was trapping like 10 years. I got on Jordans, I got me like 10 pair. I gotta get to this cash, yeah. They say a young nigga living too fast, yeah. I gotta get to the cash, yeah. They say a young nigga living too fast, yeah. I don't just fly, I get in it. Knew these favors was bought on my tennis splash. Young nigga drip like I'm swimming. White boy came with them bag like it's Christmas. Yeah, bitch, I'm connected, Wi-Fi. And I'm from where them young niggas die. Got it on me, a kiss, you can bye-bye. I promise I'm not with the rah-rah. Hey, I gotta wait, drippin' that flame.